What's up everyone, Ashraf here. Great to see you again. How you doing? Well, in this video, we're going to be talking about polite English. So, stop being rude. Let's be polite. Alright. Please do stick around here until the very end of the video because I'm here to help you. I've got some great phrases for you guys. Alright, here we go. Scenario number 1. Someone calls you. The person who calls doesn't tell his name or her name. In such situation, you need to ask the name of the caller. Alright. So, a lot of people ask, who is this? Or who are you? If the caller doesn't say their name. So let's change this question, who is this or who are you, to a polite version. Alright, so instead of asking who is this, we can ask, may I ask who is calling? May I ask who is calling? Alright. Situation number 2. Someone calls you. He says his name. But he doesn't say he wants to talk to such and such person. In such scenario, we might ask, who do you want to speak to? Who do you want to speak to? If you want to make this question into more polite version, you need to change this. Instead of want, you say would like. Alright? Who would you like to speak to? Who would you like to speak to? Instead of asking who do you want to speak to? This question, who do you want to speak to? This question is absolutely okay. But if you want to speak more professionally, if you want to speak more politely, you need to change this. Alright, so we could ask, who would you like to speak to? Next, scenario number 3. You call someone and you introduce yourself. Then you want to say the name of the person you want to speak to. Alright, this is your phrase. I want to speak to Miss Neha. I want to speak to Miss Neha. This phrase is too direct. Alright, so you need to make this a polite version. You need to change this, the soft version. So instead of want to, so this is not a good phrase on the phone. So we don't use this on the phone, I want to speak to. Instead, what we can do is change this version, I want to, and instead you can say I'd like to. I would like to. In spoken English, we say I would becomes I'd. Listen up, I'd like to speak to Miss Neha. So stop saying I want to speak to Miss Neha. Instead, what we can say is I'd like to speak to Miss Neha. Great phrase on the phone. I use this all the time. I'd like to speak to Miss Neha. Alright, next. Number 4. You are speaking to someone. Your phone is ringing. You want to answer the phone. You want to pick up the phone. But you don't want that person to listen to your conversation. So you could say, please leave. I have to answer the call. Or please leave. I have to pick up the call. This phrase is absolutely okay, but if you want to be more polite, you can change this. Instead, you can say, could you step out of the room for a moment? I have to answer the call. Could you step out of the room for a moment? I have to pick up the call. Alright, next, fifth one. We want to have an answer soon. We want to have an answer soon. A bit rude, too direct. So what we are gonna do is change want to. What is the polite version of want to? We've already spoken. Would like. So change this would want to. Instead, we can use would like. Alright, so instead of we want to have an answer soon, we say we would like to have an answer soon. We'd instead of we would. We say we'd. In spoken, we say we'd. We'd, we would. We'd like to have an answer soon. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Question: do you have a favorite business expression in English? If so, share it in the comments so others can learn from you. Thank you so much for watching. You've been fantastic. Cheers, guys.